Alright guys, Skinny Rider here again. Just going to give a little update here on what's going on with the four-wheeler. So far I hadn't gotten anything in yet. It's been here at the ranch for probably, I don't know, couple months now. I'm in the process of selling my house. That's why I hadn't been posting many videos and hadn't really been riding. It's currently 90 something degrees outside and it's almost noon. Do have a new project. I'm gonna get my camper trailer up and going. 21-foot high-low camper trailer. I'm gonna get that going. But my most recent project I've been working on is the tractor. Now, I just did a little bit of mowing here, only because of the fact that it's getting pretty tall. And that's where I've been spending most of my time, is here at the ranch. I hadn't really been riding either. It's been too hot and stuff like that, too dry really. And when it is wet, it's too blooming wet. But as you can see, my boom cylinders are off the tractor. I had to replace both of them. Well, not replace, I had to rebuild both of them. As well as order some parts for the four-wheeler, and I'll tell you what that is here in a little bit. I did one little mod that one of my buddies told me. I am going riding in 2 weeks. I hope to have a lot of video come out of that. Most of the stuff is going to be off my phone. So, my boom cylinders. I got them rebuilt, freshly rebuilt. Got them back about 2 weeks ago, just now made it down. I got them back 2 weeks ago Friday, I think. I gotta slap those on and get them all bled out. I just did a little mowing on our John Deere. This sucker is old. Let's see if I can. Runs like a top though. It's got a Kohler in it. 48-inch cutting deck, 3 blades. I gotta sharpen the blades. It ain't running too good. Let me see if it won't do nothing. Well, if I had it to run, I could show you how many hours are on it, and you probably wouldn't believe me, but it's like right around 600. But it's got like Kohler Command, 23 horse. Runs pretty good. Runs pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty bright out here. But I kind of washed her up this morning. Some of the things I've done, I debadged the rear. Got my light whips all ready to go. They're working. But the most recent thing I've done, one of my buddies told me to do it, is take the spark arrestor out. So I took the spark arrestor out, and sure enough, there was a bunch of crud in there. And when I mean a bunch of crud, I mean for a good 5 minutes it was blowing stuff out. Sorry, I had to get me something to drink. Been on the mower for about 2.5 hours. But my most recent discovery on this thing was wheel bearings. Now these are 30 by 9 by 14 Zillas. I mean, they're still got pretty good life in it. Knuckle, that much knuckle. I mean, they're pretty good. Topped off that, in the process of going to clean everything. Somebody the other day was asking me if I still had my caps on here, because apparently they fall off. Well, I've never taken mine off. I've never had water in my lights. I cleaned it up and I went on a little ride. I was going to do a riding video this morning early, and then I realized it's dry. Way too dry. But got my gear reduction in, I got my lift in, and I got my tires in. I have to put my stretch and my lift on before I can put my tires on. Those are going to be 31 by 8.5 by 14 Moto Havocs. I'm putting a 61.5% gear reduction in it, 2.5 or 2-inch lift, 2.5-inch stretch, because of this right here. That right there. That is 30 true 30s, not wides, skinnies. If you put wides on the rear of this thing, they will hit and you have to trim your plastics. Now I'm having a feeling I'm gonna have to trim up here, because with 31s, I think I'm gonna hit around in here. Everyone's telling me that they're running over 31. They're running like 32s, 31 and a half. They're running like 12 pounds of air in them. I'm only gonna be running factory, which factory is, I think it says it somewhere here on the ATV, right over here. 4.4 in the rear, 4.4 in the front. So that's what I run. That is that. I just cleaned up my rad relocate. It was all dirty and dingy and nasty. I have yet to find out. I've got a couple of videos on my phone, because for whatever reason I cannot edit the videos that I had from the last ride I went on. I don't know why. Like I said, I just cleaned it up and then I mowed, so I'm probably gonna have to rinse it off again. But that's that. A little winchy poo down there. I've been working on, and I need to do some how-to videos. As you can see, we got that. That used to be my get around the ranch rig. I put an underdrive pull. I swapped the pulleys on it, and that sucker will pull a wheelie if you stick it in 3rd, 4th gear and let out the clutch on it. But the motor started spitting oil out the tailpipe, so I said to heck with it. Now here is the 2000 Honda 4Trax, one owner. Plastics are in really good condition. Only thing I'm missing is the little bushings there, which I'm gonna get those, and these little deals right here, which I'm gonna get those. I mean, I don't think you can. There's ever a 4-wheeler that will do that. That's factory. There's no side-to-side movement except for that tire. You can see that tire moving. There's no side-to-side movement anywhere. The brakes still work. Factory running boards came on this thing. We got the Honda factory gun holder. I mean, you can see the chain rust and stuff like that from where we put chains. We put everything, but it fires right up. That's still pretty good shape. I do have to get a new throttle cable, throttle sticking. I just recently did a full service on it. I did transfer case. I mean, you see how clean that motor is. This motor has never been mudded. Never. It's never seen a lick of mud. I mean, it might see mud or water up to here, but it's still got, for the most part, all of its caps, factory caps. I did front or transfer case, and you can tell in here it's just a ranch 4-wheeler, and these are stock axles. Can't move them in and out, can't do nothing. Factory wheel bearings, factory brakes, factory tires on the rear. The fronts are dirt devils, and the tire shop jacked it up. See, it's even got the factory kickstart cover right there. Still in good condition. Tank's still in good condition. Factory exhaust. Need the brakes. Brakes are good. It's got a little bit of an oil leak right there. I think it's coming from the crankcase vent tube, though, just from where it looks. The factory plug for a 12-volt outlet. Headlights are still good. We used to take it to Colorado all the time. That's what that's for. There's another one over here. Got most of the plastics. I think there's one crack in the plastic, and that's right there. 19 years old, still kicks off. 2008's the last time we had it registered so we could go hunt. And I did the rear differential on it as well, service on it as well. Sorry, my girlfriend's over here messaging me. But yeah, it's pretty good. This is the seat that my grandmother made before she passed away, that she helped me make for my 300 before I blew it up. They say you Hondas are indestructible. Well, let me tell you, I blew one up. Kingdom come. It was fun. Luckily, I had a good connecting rod off of another motor, and I was able to do all that to that other motor. Basically a frame off. Bent the connecting rod, jump time, blew holes in the piston, cracked the head, bent the valves. It was just all sorts of crappy. This one's still got the factory brake light. It still works too. That's probably what was rattling earlier. This one's still got factory exhaust, as you can see. I mean, it's seen some mud just from driving around the ranch, but that one's seized in there so good. But I mean, it's just a little factory, one owner, Honda 300. The way you would typically find them, no holes, no nothing in it. Every once in a while, we'll put the spray rig on. Like I said, I was gonna do a riding video, but that didn't work out because it's so blooming hot and dry, and I don't know if you can tell, but the grass way over there in the background, it's probably about, well, I was running across it in first gear doing about 4 miles an hour in my four-wheeler and the 420, and you can see the grass was probably about that high. And this is factory lift, so it's kind of up there, but see, there was grass seeds growing all over here. But for anybody that wants to know how to do a radiator relocation kit, okay, well, they're stupid simple. All right. So I got the kit from SS Customs. It was gray, or it was bare metal. I sanded it down and I stripped all the stuff off of it pretty good. And I primed it, sanded it down good, painted it, and I shot 2 coats of clear. Now, you can see some areas here where it's shiny. This dulled out because the heat off the radiator, for whatever reason, it kind of, not bubbled it, but I guess I didn't let it cure enough, because there were some spots over here that actually you can see where it's shiny. Yeah, you can see it pretty good. And then this turned out shiny too. This is all smooth and shiny, but I bought this kit from SS Customs. I tried to set it further back so I could mount a light bar up front here. That didn't work. What's going to end up happening is I'm getting a Foreman front bumper. Anyway, it bolts on here. Very, very good guy to talk to. Knows his stuff. Everything went in simple. I drilled in some holes. I was going to mount a light bar up here. I think I'm going to end up mounting a sound bar, more than likely. I don't know why that looks like that. That does not look like it's supposed to look like that. Yeah, kind of, whatever. Cap's still hot, so I'm not going to touch it. Anyhow, radiator unbolted from here. Drained the coolant, popped the hose off the radiator, drained the coolant. First, I actually took and I crimped off this top radiator hose. Crimped it off. Straight crimped it and crimped it down there, like right in here somewhere on the other side. And then took this off, drained that, took the tube off, drained it, took this tube off, drained it. He supplied me with all the zip ties. He supplied me with this hose, gave me a little bit more than I needed. This is Gates hose he supplied me with. Gave me a little bit more than I needed, just in case, because he did say you could run all the hoses up through here if you didn't want to cut a hole in your plastic. He supplied me with the new hose clamps, the fitting. There's a elbow right there, 90-degree elbow. I just went up, Tied it into the lower radiator hose there. I kept the factory hose clamps. And I went up right there. Put me some little grommets there because it was touching the frame where I wanted it to ride. I went straight up, connected it here, zip tied that loosely, not hard. A lot of people are deleting this. The only trouble I see in that is that bottle fluctuates a lot for me. I don't know if that's just because it gets hot and then cold and hot and cold. I don't do a lot of water riding. Mine's mainly mud. But, and he supplied with all the bushings, the long stainless steel bolts. Supplied with all that. Now I drilled and mounted this little light bar. The factory plug right here plugs up, no problem. Your fan vent plugs up, no problem. He supplied me with the bracket for here and a bolt, 2 bolts. A bracket for here and 2 bolts to relocate my jug. And all it was is just a frame tab here. It was just a bolt in the frame tab, or a bolt hole in the frame. You can see the other one over there. It was just that hole. And this one was the factory one that mounted the radiator. I guess y'all can see my lights here. I would turn those on, but it's connected to my phone. Sorry for the long video. That one, I don't know how I'm going to like them because the way this snorkel is routed, and I goofed up on this one. And this one's not supposed to be routed that way, but oh well. That's one of the rock lights for up top. But yeah, I got to get in here somehow, and I got to dye like grease all that stuff. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's supposed to all be dye like greased, but I got to re-dye like grease the 4-wheeler. Get it ready for this next event. Like I said, I'll be videotaping off my phone. I'm probably going to do about 10 or 15 little small 5, 10, 15 minute videos. Get her all SC1'd up, cleaned up good. And get ready for these tires, lift, stretch, and gear reduction to go on. I'm about to come out of my factory warranty, so it's time to do it. That's my little holder there. I need to find a grommet or some washers or something to put in there. So far, everything's held up. You can see I've been in mud. Yes, I've been in mud. It's not a pavement princess. I hadn't been able to do anything as far as videos that I have on my phone. I got to figure out how to upload them, but I'm gonna get all that stuff done. We will go from there. I will probably do a lot of videos on my phone, YouTube, when I'm at the mud park. And I'm taking it home 2 weeks before the ride. Gonna go over everything, dial grease everything real good. I have to change both front wheel bearings. This side wheel bearing is no bueno anymore. So I will pick up next week. I'll have another video coming out of whenever I start tearing down the 4-wheeler. I got to tear down both sides, unfortunately. So that'll be fun. I'll show y'all how I pull axles out. Might not be the correct way, but it's the way I've been doing it. I'm taking the knuckle off, so I'll have to take all this crap off to drop the shock. And as you can see, that shock is only on the first little peg there. It's the bottom one. It's not the highest. So let's see, it's sitting right there. That's stock lift. Axles are still in good shape. Move this way, that way. Axle angles are still good. I hadn't jacked it up none. Probably should to give it a little bit more lift in the front, but I carry a cooler on the rear, so the rear end sits a little higher, so when I put the cooler in, it sets it down. Alrighty guys, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, tell me what you think.